Good evening and welcome to the St. Thomas Stars YouTube audio broadcast for this game between the St. Thomas Stars and the Strathroy Rockets in the GOHL. Live from the West Middlesex Memorial Centre in Strathroy, Ontario. This should be a great matchup between the currently 6th place team for the St. Thomas Stars. They were sitting in 8th, but after the win against Chatham, they've bumped up a little bit in a tight race in the middle of the West. The Strathroy Rockets currently on the outside looking in of the playoffs in 9th. Just 1 point back of a spot, I do believe, unless that's changed. I might have to double check that update. There's been quite a few games. There's been a few cancellations as well. The St. Thomas Stars playing last night. The Rockets were supposed to play last night as well, but they got the night off as their matchup in Stratford was postponed due to weather. So both teams should have been just as tired as each other. Perhaps Strathroy a little more so with the travel to Stratford, but not the case now after that canceled matchup. St. Thomas Stars holding a record of 18-15, 2-1. And the Strathroy Rockets 16-17, 2-0. Fairly similar records, although the Strathroy Rockets currently with a losing record. They're looking to change that. And they had a good stretch lately to try and bump that up a bit. They're 6-4-0 in their last 10. And they're currently trying to chase down St. Thomas, Waterloo, LaSalle, and I'm blanking on the other one themselves as they try and chase. They're a few points behind Strathroy, however, so they've got a tough job to do. Quite a few bodies out for the Stars tonight, as Rowan Reed will be out of the lineup. Cade Kinnear, of course, will now miss the rest of the season. Our best wishes go to him for a speedy recovery. Cole Edmondson out of the lineup, as well as Braxton Mullins. Both of those guys getting in a fight last night against Chatham. Cooper Ilchishin picked up a minor injury in Chatham last week, and he will also be out of the lineup. We've got 3 APs to fill the spots tonight, all London Junior Knights. Wearing the number 17 will be Ryan Rodney. Wearing the number 28 will be Will Burgess. And the number 64 will be Braden Piskarowski. All London Junior Knights with the U18 team. All played in the preseason as well for the St. Thomas Stars. We'll take a look at those stats throughout the game. Starting goaltenders tonight, Dylan Durno for the Stars holding a record of 5-5-1-1 against Seth Ronan holding a 10-9-0 record. Right now we'll leave it to the arena announcer and our national anthem to get us going here from Strathroy. Well, I can hear it in my headphones. It just kind of sounds like gibberish, so I'll just kind of keep talking until the national anthem starts. Out of the lineup for the Strathroy Rockets will be Philip Markarian, Eddie Hickson, and Lucas Laprice. Eddie Hickson and Lucas Laprice, big boys for this Strathroy team. Eddie Hickson, 35 points in 32 games, and Laprice, 30 points in 32 games. So some other players are going to have to step up in their absence. Few former St. Thomas Stars as well on Strathroy. Quinn Gavin White played for the Stars last season and the one before that a little bit before getting traded to St. Mary's. Also Xander Kachigo, who only played about 9 games for the Stars, but he's on the Rockets as well. And Dylan Searles, who was traded to the Rockets at the deadline this season. Starting goaltender Seth Ronan announced. Trying to hear what's going on for this opening ceremony, but I can't hear a thing. They're echoey back to where I'm standing. Strathroy Rockets are coming off a loss against St. Mary's, which happened last week. Again, we're supposed to play Stratford last night, but cost of getting the start in their last game. 22 saves out of 26 shots for a .846 save percentage. Dodderman picking up a goal and an assist, as well as LeBlanc, both a goal and an assist. Went 1 for 7 on the power play, though, in their last game. Stars coming off a big 7-5 win against Chatham at home. Actually, 2 wins in a row against the Chatham Maroons, who are first in the West. Trying to ride that momentum going forward. The opening ceremony puck drop man is announced. Again, can't hear who it is. The captains will come in for the ceremonial drop. William Hull for the Rockets, and of course Owen Gray for the St. Thomas Stars. Gotta make sure they get their photo ops. And we'll have the national anthem here coming up now. With that, the starting lineups will be ready to go. Get that carpet off the ice for a game between the St. Thomas Stars and the Strathroy Rockets. Should be a good matchup tonight. 2 teams fighting for a playoff spot. Of course, the St. Thomas Stars coming off 2 big wins against the Chatham Maroons. An overtime win in Chatham, and then a 7-5 win at home last night. William Campitaro getting the start for that game. 39 out of 44, an .886 save percentage. Some big point nights for some players as well. Miles Dunn getting the hat trick on the night. Captain Owen Gray getting 3 assists. And Eloan Legalic, a goal and 2 assists. As well as a handful of other players getting a 2-point night. But they got to try and keep that momentum going here in Strathroy. St. Thomas will be wearing their white away jerseys, and the Rockets in their home red and blue, looking like some Canadiens. Opening face-off is dropped, and the puck will head into the St. Thomas Stars zone to start. The Rockets working it around back to the point. Newstetter a shot. That'll hit a body in front and stop up on the near face-off dot. Rebound collected by the Rockets as they work it around behind the net. Dancing around behind the goal line. McGahee Smith will walk along the near wall and ring it around to the far side. Pinching in is Adam Broad to try and keep it in. Can't do so, and away comes Eloan Legalic. Up the far side across the blue line. He's going to lose the puck as he had a few Rockets in front of him. Around the boards, near side, Cameron centering pass, saved by Ronan. Rebounds loose, shot from Eloan Legalic, and Ronan makes another save. Good start for goaltender Seth Ronan, stopping a couple quality chances for St. Thomas. Puck sent out to the neutral zone. The Stars are going to collect it again, try and re-enter. Miles Dunn entry on the far side is stopped up, sent back to Savage, who will now dump it in. On the far boards, In the corner, a battle for it. 2 Stars and 3 Rockets fighting for it. The Rockets are going to win that matchup by the numbers. Away comes LeBlanc up the far side, trying to dance around Savage. Does get it behind the goal line, but can't hang on to the puck. He does take a whack at it, which will send it to the near side. The Rockets retain possession in the offensive zone. Send it behind the goal line in the near corner. Now back to the blue line. Sewell takes a shot, hits a body, and stops up in front of the goal. Around the near side, it'll head back to Sewell at the blue line. Tries again, and a stop for Dylan Durno. Will catch that with the chest and hang on. Dylan Durno having a good season. He's facing a lot of shots each game, but holds a record of 5-5-1-1 and an impressive save percentage of .916 on the season. As he will get the start tonight. Also, most likely will get the start on Friday night as William Camputaro is off to the St. Andrews tournament. Where he and Miles Dunn will both go, represent the GOHL and the St. Thomas Stars. Pardon me, the McPherson tournament. St. Andrews College is hosting it. Up the far side, Ketchigal. Gonna whack it up the boards into the neutral zone. Victor Moody will pick it up. Near side, Vahoviak off the wall and straight into the path of goaltender Ronan. Will cover up and win. Now, if you want your chance to get one of those retro St. Thomas Stars jersey, there is an auction being held for the next week or so. I think it ends at the end of January, so you want to get in there and get your bids in. But head over to the Stars website or the Facebook page. All those have links. You can bid on your favorite player's jersey, which is signed and game worn. Of course, some of the newer players aren't in there as they were jerseys from early this season. A shot in front on the far side out of nowhere, and Quinn Gavin White buries it. And Grammy would be proud of that one as he scores against his former team. So Quinn Gavin White strikes first, and the Strathroy Rockets out in front. Pass right in front of Dylan Durno. Didn't have much of a chance of it as it's shot over the blocker hand. And the Rockets strike first tonight, take a 1-goal lead. Not even 3 minutes into this game. It's tight confines here in Strathroy. Tight ice. Trying to make a pass through the center. It's sent back at the blue line. Trying to keep fighting for it are the Rockets. They'll win it back in their own zone after a ricochet. Miller up the near side. He'll bring it around the boards, and an icing call will be made as nobody touches that before it makes its way down the ice. Quinn Gavin White is enjoying his time in Strathroy, to say the least. He now has 21 points in 18 games played with the Rockets. He wasn't quite as successful with the St. Mary's Lincolns or the Kamoka Kings, for that matter, earlier this season. Has really found a good place and a good spot in this Rockets lineup, making a big impact as a veteran in this league. An offside on the near side is going to stop things up in the Rockets zone. And the faceoff's actually going to be inside the Rockets end. On the far side, a face-off between Jimmy Sutherland and Nerton. Nerton's going to win it back to the corner. Miller, Upland Durno found that with the glove as it was tipped about 3 feet in front of him. So he'll win a face-off in his own zone. 16:23 left in the first period. Rockets have struck early, holding a 1-0 lead. Face-off on the near dot. Tied up are the centers, and in comes a winger to pick it up. Shot towards the goal. Durno makes a save. Rebound heads behind the net. Now the Stars will pick it up and head forward. Miles Dunn, a pass across, is broken up by Hull at the blue line. Sent the other way. Brimmel steered to the near boards. And now Bezzetta will chase it into the corner and try and press his man up against the wall. Vahoviak picks up the puck after he does so. And now the Stars come up the left side. Centering pass from Legalic. Can't get on camera's stick. Strathroy chops it through the neutral zone. A bit of a back and forth will end up being sent all the way into the St. Thomas end. And behind the goal. Near side. Dylan Searles will send it all the way around to the far corner. Stars trying to get a grip on it in their own end here. And now from behind the net, away comes Wyatt Cameron. Cameron through the middle. Makes a move at the blue line. Takes a shot. Blocker saved by Ronan. Top corner that was labeled. Ronan denies it. Rebound collected by the Rockets. Trying to draw up an exit. Hull doesn't like the look of it, so he's going to head behind his net and let his team complete a line change. And LeBlanc will pick it up from behind the goal, head up the right wing. LeBlanc and across the blue line in the far corner. Centering pass attempt goes straight through the zone to the near side. Reed Crossman getting his stick in front of a shot. That'll block it to the near corner again. Now sent to the far side. Battle up against the far wall. Heads back to the blue line. Shot from LeBlanc. Misses the net. Near side up the wall. Crossman sends it forward. And now it stops up in the neutral zone on the near side. Pops out to Newstead, who pokes it back ahead and now fired into the State Star zone again. Charlie Stuckey from behind his own goal is stopped up. Looking for some wingers to fly ahead in a pattern he likes. Stuckey still waiting behind Dylan Durno. Doesn't seem to be in much of a hurry as Crossman and Matsos are trying to get in sync to get their exits on cue. Now Stuckey will go up the left side. Pass back to Stuckey is off target. Turned over in the corner. Now the Rockets have it. Trying to pick it up is Searles. He's in a wall battle with former teammate Victor Moody, who will flip it high down the ice into the Strathroy zone. Strathroy trying to catch the Stars on a change, but the pass was off target. Trying to send that all the way down this ice. And again, can't stress enough how small this ice is. Any shot from inside the blue line is a primo scoring chance. Miller will send it up the near side. Stuckey chases it back into his own zone. These last few minutes here, both teams have struggled to get anything going here. Far side, Miller, near boards, up to Miller, gets past him. St. Thomas will dump it in. Ronan hands it off to Miller. Long stretch pass up the near side. Looking for a springing Miller, couldn't connect. They'll try and keep a forecheck going, but the Stars will get it out to the neutral zone. Jimmy Sutherland tied up in his own skates and ends up being an offside as he got a little bit ahead of the puck, but the puck followed him in, forcing a whistle. So a big night last night against Chatham. Miles Dunn getting the hat trick, of course, and Drew Bate, an affiliate call-up, getting his first GOHL goal, a young 15-year-old, playing just his third game for the Stars. Hope to see more of him in the future. If not, he might be up in the OHL. We'll have to wait and see. Strathroy is going to dump it in on the near side and behind the goal line. Battling for it. We'll send it to the far corner. Centering pass attempt stopped by Sutherland's skate. Now Bezzetta from behind his own goal line tries to ring it around the near side. Pettipies throws a hit, but the puck glides forward and the shot attempt is off target. Sewell sends it back to Nerton ahead, and they'll dump it in and chase it down. Rory Savage from behind his own goal. He'll wait to look for an outlet, and he'll send it up the near side. Bezzetta now switches to the far boards. Ty Lawson looking for Sutherland cutting in. Pass was a little too high. It's off Sewell and into the corner. Ty Lawson trying to fish it out. As tied up are Sutherland and Sewell in the corner. Now it pops out. Kachigo is going to pick it up for the Rockets. Go up to Hull. Hull turns and feathers that into the zone and behind the goal line as his team was changing. Now up the near side. At Cameron, far side, Legalic, return pass was behind Cameron. Off the boards, Donnerman's going to pick it up. Up the left wing now, sent into the corner. It'll match up the near side. Shot from the wall will miss wide on the far post. Now up against the wall, Jazuski is pinching in to try and keep that puck in. It will get sent into the far corner. Back to Wisniewski. Far boards, Donnerman will send it back, and a shot from the point in front, just one. But the dump in is too close to Ronan, who will make the catch in his mitt and win a face-off in his own zone. So looking at our affiliate players tonight, again, 3 London Junior Knights, all on the U18 team. Got Ryan Rodney from London, Ontario, 5'9", 141, a 17-year-old. And he's got 22 games played with 13 goals and 9 assists for 22 points, a point per game with the London Junior Knights U18 team. Will Burgess from Union, Ontario, who is a 16-year-old, 26 games, 19 points. That's 9 goals and 10 assists for him. And then Braden Piskorowski from Strathroy, Ontario, playing this game in his hometown. A 17-year-old he is, 26 games played, 13 points for the young man. That's 3 goals and 10 assists for Piskorowski. So we'll see how they do tonight. I believe 2 of them are playing on the same line tonight, at least to start. Stars will dump it in behind the goal. Ronan will play it. Up the near boards, Miller sent backwards to LeBlanc, who will now head forward. LeBlanc up the right wing, sends a shot, and a softie, as he'll stop that up with the paddle and cover it up. So face off in the Stars zone. And a late line change for the Rockets, as they're going to send out Miller, Craig, and Crandon on the forward end. Face off on the far dot is a fight for that puck after a tie-up, and it'll be sent in behind the goal line. Now walking out in front, saved by Durno, and another one as it'll get sent to the far corner. Rockets trying to just waltz out in front of the goaltender and bury that in. Now sent into the Strathroy zone. In the far corner will be sent behind the goal line to Sewell. Now picked up and sent ahead by Miller up the right wing. Hull pushes forward. He gets it stripped from him at the blue line. Now near side pass to Reed Crossman. Crossman banks it off the wall, and he'll pass it off to Ryan Rodney. Up the near side, Crossman takes a hit from Miller. Puck heads behind the Strathroy zone, and it's flipped off the short glass on the far wall. Not very high here, Memorial. One of the other parts that is a hard adjustment playing here. You try and flip it up off the glass, but the glass is missing about 2 or 3 feet. So it ends up going over in the netting when you don't mean it to. Face-off won by the Rockets in their own zone. They'll head it up center ice. Crandon into the zone. He'll dump it in behind the goal. Victor Moody will send it up the left wing. Finds Ello on Legalic, who tries to switch it to Miles Dunn. Pushing ahead, and Dunn will win the race behind the goal. Sends it back to the point. Victor Moody, a shot stopped in front by a body, and a rebound was found by Dunn, but he sent it wide. Legalic will pick up the puck behind the goal line, trying to cycle it with Wyatt Cameron in the far corner. Legalic, a nice battle to win it in front, and a shot in front saved by Ronan. Miles Dunn whiffed on the initial chance, but it was found by Cameron, who gets denied by the goaltender. Now Vahoviak from the point. His shot stopped by a body in front. Cameron fighting hard for it behind the net, and the Rockets just managed to scramble it to the neutral zone after some good pressure shown by St. Thomas. Far side, Ello on Legalic, pass ahead to Dunn, tries to find a tight angle top corner shot, but he's denied by Ronan. Legalic cycles it behind the net. Searles is going to be the one to get there and send it forward. And Searles is a Rocket now. Remember that. In behind the net, a big hit thrown by the Rockets as Grimmel throws it hard. Behind Durnall taking down his man, but St. Thomas wins the puck. Now the Stars will try and send it ahead. They get denied. Now they're working it up the near side. Legalic chasing it down. Actually, the line's changed. That's Monick. Max Monick in behind the goal line. And the AP Burgess working hard beside the goal to get the puck back to the point. Shot in front, tipped on, saved by Ronan. It's still floating. Now he finds it with the paddle and squeezes it tight to his pads to stop it up. There's a couple extracurriculars after the fact. And the Stars look like they're going to get the first penalty of this game, as Piskarowski, one of the APs, is heading to the box. First power play of this game goes to the Strathroy Rockets, who are 22.8% on the season, sitting in 8th place on the power play. They'll be up against the 13th place penalty kill. Stars sitting at 79.7, although less successful on the road at 73.5%. They've been much more successful in their home build on the penalty kill. And this is a dangerous building to be killing a penalty in, as any shot from inside that blue line is a quality chance. Head coach Jason Williams, there's nowhere to hide on this ice, which is a great quote. It's tight confines. Even a shot from outside the blue line would be a decent shot in a regular size arena. It would be inside the blue line. Shot from the point from LeBlanc is off a body. It'll be on the near side, back to LeBlanc. Merton passes a couple feet away from him. He tries to chase it down. Strathroy does manage to keep the puck in the offensive zone. Ritson, centering pass in front, shot, scores! Xander Kachigo. A couple former St. Thomas Stars now have scored against their former team, as the Xander Kachigo makes it 2-0. I think Quinn Gavin White actually got an assist on that one, as he's in front on the fist bump behind Kachigo. So the Rockets striking in the first period twice to make it 2-0. And they are trying to blast away. Pardon my pun. Far side, Savage. Clear stopped by Hull in the neutral zone. Durno makes a catch on a dump in, and he'll drop the puck to keep the play going. Stars now down by 2, have to play catch up and work uphill. And through the neutral zone, Zoderman gets stood up at the blue line. Teammate Brimmel will come in to backhand it in deep. And behind the net, St. Thomas trying to work it ahead. Jimmy Sutherland now pass off to Pettipiece. Pettipiece without his bash bro, so to speak. Braxton Mullins out of the lineup tonight, serving a 1-game suspension, I do believe it is. Got into a fight in Chatham from the suspension, so I'm not sure exactly why, unless it was an instigator or something. Nonetheless, he's serving a game. Get a power play chance, as Dodderman's going to head to the box for the Rockets. Stars power play to try and cut this lead to 1 with 6 minutes left in the first period. Dodderman in the box for interference. St. Thomas 6th place, almost 6th place in the league on the power play, 23.2%. And they're up against a penalty that's not in the league, 76.2%. Legalic in the far corner, trying to get some room away from Broad. He'll cycle it into Sutherland behind the goal line. Jimmy Sutherland trying to work it around Neustadt, but he bumps into him. Now a steal back by Miles Dunn on the near side from Ritson. Shot from Dunn in front, stopped by Ronan. Loose puck. Cleared to the far side, and Gavin White will clear it down the ice. Rockets will get some fresh penalty killers out there. And Charlie Stuckey will head up the ice. Drop pass back for Legalic. Lets it go quickly to Miles Dunn to avoid turning it over. Dunn walks in the zone. He'll stop up on the far wall. Looking towards the goal now. Tries another sharp angle shot. That's blocked. Legalic will catch it out of the sky and pick it up. Down low to Sutherland. Trying to whip it across to Dunn. That's deflected by the defensive stick of Hull. Kept in by Stuckey. Stuckey, another shot blocked by Hull that time. Off the backboards. Picked up by Legalic. Back to the blue line and hops over the blade of Miles Dunn's stick. And out of the zone, they'll have to reset. With just 50 seconds left now in this Stars power play. Up center, Stuckey will flip it high into the near corner. Broad fires it hard down the ice after finding it real quick in his own zone to shave off a few more seconds on this penalty kill for the Rockets. Stars heading forward again. Drop pass behind from Owen Gray. Now back to the far side. Ty Lawson with it. Back to the blue line. Savage tried to turn and backhand it along the blue line, but it exits the zone and now cleared again by Neustetter in behind Durnall. Power play is all but done with just about 7 seconds left on it. Up the ice comes Gray. Draw pass back for Savage. Savage cutting through the blue line, but teammate was offside, halting his forward progress. And a face-off in the neutral zone with 1 second left on the Stars power play. 4:01 left in the period. Face-off just outside the Strathroy Rockets blue line. They'll win the draw, and their man will come out of the box. Donnerman was slow to come out of the box. His teammates had to yell at him to do so. He was watching it exit. Now they'll try and draw up a better one as they're stopped up behind their own net. Up the left side they'll try. Pushing ahead to Miles Dunn. Pass across, broken up by Ritson. Cameron couldn't find a bouncing puck, crashes into Ronan. And the play is going to be stopped. We'll see what the call is. They're just saying the face-off will be outside of the zone. Referee watching Cameron real close, but don't think he's going to put him in the cuffs. They're still 5-on-5, so it looks like it will just be a neutral zone face-off. With 2 minutes left in this first period, Strathroy Rockets hold on to a 2-0 lead. Ritson in on the face-off with Wyatt Cameron. Ritson will win that. Sewell up the right side. It's stopped by Savage. Can't push it ahead. It's sent back to the defense. Joey Bozzetta with it now. The pass off to Savage, who gets it ahead to Legalic. Legalic couldn't slow that pass down. Stars will have to try and push up the ice again. Bozzetta, his pass intended for Miles Dunn, gets away from him. Now the Rockets push forward. Bozzetta's going to get it off the boards and into the Rockets zone. Sewell, his pass to the red line intended for Gavin White, will go through him and down the ice for an icing call. Face-off will be inside the Rockets zone. Stars will try and push forward and cut this thing to a 1-goal lead, perhaps before the end of the first here. Can't win the offensive zone draw. Sutherland keeps battling behind the goal line. Will create a little bit of trouble. It's sent past the blue line of the Rockets and back over. That'll be an offside call. Stuckey hopped up to make a catch. It checked back. So another face-off in the neutral zone with 1:16 left now. Stars down by 2. And to take the draw is Jimmy Sutherland. Dylan Searles, former Star, was always good at the face-off with us, and he wins that draw. On the near side, Rockets will press in to the Star zone. A pass through the center will glide into the path of Durnall and is stopped up for a whistle. So face off in the Stars end on the far dot. 1 second more than a minute left in the first period. Face off won by St. Thomas in their own zone. They'll send it up the left side, to Ty Lawson. Hops past him and onto the defensive Rocket sticks. Their stretch pass up the ice doesn't work either. Icing waved off. A few Stars were calling for it, but play continues in the St. Thomas zone. Rockets fighting for the puck in the near corner. Donovan being pressed up against the wall. Trying to work it back to the point. Does so. Shot from the point. Blocked up in front. Off the left side, the Stars are going to dump it in. Pettipies trying to win a race down and beat the icing, but it's blown down. Looked like he might have had a step on Broad, but the referee says it's too close to call. And another icing here at the end of the first period. 26 seconds left. Defensive zone draw for the St. Thomas Stars. Ritson, an offensive powerhouse, will step in for the face-off. Wins it. Shot off the draw. Is stopped, denying LeBlanc of making it 3-0. Stars are going to dump it in. The St. Thomas team needs to battle hard to try and get something out of this game at this point. Down by 2 early. They got to get back into it before it's too late. I know it's only the end of the first, but head coach and the coaching staff said they challenge these boys to will themselves into these types of games. Try and want that win more than the opposition. But after one, they'll be down by 2 going into the second as the buzzer sounds. And the Rockets hold a 2-0 lead after 20. So we'll take a quick break for intermission here from the West Middlesex Memorial Center in Strathroy, Ontario, live on the St. Thomas Stars YouTube audio live stream. Please like and subscribe, share with your family, all that good stuff as we try to grow this thing and have a good outlet for the boys. The goal is to try and get this channel monetized so we can put that money back into the team for all those things like buses and equipment, everything that it takes to make this clock tick. So we'll take that quick break and be back for the second period in just a bit. St. Thomas Stars 0, Rockets 2. To face off in the St. Thomas zone to our right. We'll be just outside the St. Thomas zone. Gotta make sure to turn off that intermission stamps. That's why the play-by-play guys don't run the other stuff at the same time. Multitasking is hard in any facet. In behind the net after the Rockets dump it in. They'll chase it down. Centering pass is off of Bezzetta's skate in the corner. Now back to the corner it goes to LeBlanc. LeBlanc skates back to the blue line. All the way along it. Now a shot from distance. Blocker side will miss wide of the net. Quinn Gavin White sends it back behind the goal for LeBlanc, but it gets past him after he's bumped into, and Sutherland will send it up the ice. Ty Lawson up the near side is chopped back by Hull, and another offside will be the result, it looks like. So another face-off in the neutral zone as we're just over a minute into this second period. Strathroy Rockets up 2-0 here on their home ice. Face-off sent back to the Rockets' defense. And now passed ahead. Ritson in across the blue line. Ritson a shot, didn't get all of it. Misses wide of the net. Rebound comes around the near side. Back to the point. Picked off by Legalic. Backhand pass attempt across the ice is stopped. Now stripped off by Miles Dunn. A shot blocked in front. They'll chase it down in the near corner. Back to the point. Savage a shot. That's off a body. And now up the near side. Hull trying to get it off the glass, but it's up and over. Into the netting for another stoppage in play and a face-off inside the Strathroy zone. It's real cold in this old building. Always freezing in here. Feel the cold here as I suck it in as well. Not comfortable confines for a visiting team. Strathroy wins the face-off in their own end. On the near side, they'll dump it in. Brimmel. Durno plays the puck away from the front of his net. Searles couldn't collect it. Stars will push ahead up the left wing. Eloan Legalic avoids a poke check. Flips it to the far boards. Off the wall, it's collected by Vahoviak. Centering pass attempt is stopped by a piece of anatomy. And hops back to the stick of Victor Moody in the neutral zone. Now the Stars in their own zone. Pitch and catch. Back to Moody. Near side, pass up the blue line is unconnected, and the Rockets will take it the other way. Shot from distance outside the blue line on net. Durnall makes a glove save. Another shot from outside the blue line. Pad save that time for Dylan Durnall as the Rockets trying to throw everything towards him, even from outside. Again, a shot from outside the blue line here is like a shot from just inside the blue line in a regular size rink. It's a really shallow offensive zones. Provide really good scoring opportunities from anywhere you are inside of them. Face off on the far dot. Ritson up against Cameron. Ritson wins it back to the point. A shot stopped by the glove of Durnall, who will make the catch and hang on again. Owen Gray and Quinn Gavin White exchanging some words beside the net to be friendly. Gavin White having a chuckle as he left. Owen Gray picking up the 3 assists last night against the Chatham Maroons. Again, you gotta wonder what the difference is when the Rockets were also scheduled to play but didn't, as the game was postponed due to weather. So perhaps a little bit fresher tonight. Stars are a little bit banged up after a couple physical games against the Maroons. Far boards, Jimmy Sutherland up against the wall, trying to get it back to the point. It's picked off by the Rockets. Ritson comes ahead. It's got Gavin White on his left side. Gavin White drop pass for Ritson, centering to LeBlanc and his skates. The Stars will pick it up. Sutherland up the near side. He'll dump it around the defender, Newstetter. Try and gather behind the net. Rockets will win possession in their own end. LeBlanc up past the blue line. Ritson looking in front of the goal and a pass through the zone. Now shot from the blue line, blocked in front by Lawson. It's breakaway pass for Pettipies, who's got some room. Man on his back. Nice back check to deny that break from Pettipies. I think it was the captain, William Hull, who came back and broke it up. Rory Savage stopped up behind his goal. Just about 4 minutes into this second period. Stars still down by 2. Savage up the near side. Pass doesn't get on the stick of Bezzetta. It's sent back in behind Dylan Durnall. Now Savage will try again. He'll skate himself up the middle. Hands it off to Matsos on the far side. Matsos winds and fires over the bar. And on the near side, Savage gets it down low. Pass to the point is outside of the zone. Perhaps another example of trying to adjust to this small ice. He might have had a bit of more room. Bezzetta might have on the far side to come back and collect that in the zone. On the far side, Rodney turns and gets it in the near corner. Savage, a shot from the point, over the net. No, it's in! Tipped in front by Reed Crossman, and that gets past Ronan. The St. Thomas Stars cut the lead in half. The score now 2-1. Reed Crossman picking up the goal. Good traffic in front, making Ronan's job a difficult one. And off a ricochet, it'll hit the twine. Stars find the board for the first time tonight. And all of a sudden, they're back in this hockey game. Center ice draw, won by the Rockets. Fired on Durnall again from outside the blue line. Cragg taking a shot, blocker save. Sends it behind the goal. Near side, played around by Burgess to Victor Moody in the far corner. Moody trying to get a pass to work up the wall. Piskarowski working hard against the boards. A shot from the blue line, stopped by the pad of Durnall. On the near post. Another shot dumped in behind the net. Victor Moody will collect it up the far wall and pass ahead to Piskarowski. He whips it across center ice. There's 2 affiliate call-ups playing with Max Monick on this lineup. Piskarowski and Burgess. Gohoviak up the near side. He'll pass, dump it in. Into chase is Piskarowski, but it's fired up the far boards by Broad. Now dumped in on the near side. An icing call. We'll halt things up as Owen Gray and Crandon get tied up. The Rockets bench is trying to make a case that that shouldn't have been an icing. But nonetheless, those arguments will be in vain. We will head back into the Rocket zone. Got an appearance tonight from former St. Thomas star Ricky Mack. Eric McDonald in the building as he's visiting home. He's traded to Ayr at the deadline, but he's living in a billet house with the Ayr Centennials, but was able to make a trip home and spend some time with his family, and he wanted to come out to this game, see some familiar faces, some former teammates. Got to say hi myself and saw him reunite with Cooper Ilchishin and Edmondson, who were out of the lineup, but in the building as well tonight. Great to see Eric McDonald, great kid. And we, of course, wish him all the best with the Ayr Centennials for the rest of the season. The Rockets flip it high into the neutral zone and push forward. A shot in front and a broken up play by Captain Owen Gray. Now back to the point. Ritson, another shot. Zizuski was pushing forward, trying to get a tip in front of the goal. The defenseman. Now LeBlanc gets taken down in the center of the Stars zone. LeGallic doesn't like it, calling a dive, but the call will go against the Quebec native, and the Rockets win a power play. It did look like it didn't take much to bring him down, but a good job nonetheless by LeBlanc to draw the penalty, win his team a man advantage, try and make it another 2-goal game. Stars have cut it to 2-1 after the most recent goal. Scored by Reed Crossman. Offensive draw one by the Rockets, and they'll try to jam it on the far post as Gavin White was trying to tuck us by the post. The ice looks very wet underneath the goal of Dylan Durno. Not sure why, but doesn't seem to be drying in that spot. So a quick clear by the Stars will send it all the way down the ice in the Strathroy zone. As the Rockets now push ahead up the left wing. Ritson blows the ankles of Ty Lawson with a nice move, but the pass back to the blue line was not as good. And it heads all the way back into the Rocket zone. Nice move to enter. Not a nice move to set it up. They'll try again. LeBlanc, this time up the left side. Centering pass in front off the stick of Monick. Back at the blue line. It's kept in by the Rockets. Just signed by Gavin White. Centering pass in front from LeBlanc. Blocker saved by Durno on a shot from between the hash marks. Or just past them. Rockets collect the puck again. Ritson back to the blue line. LeBlanc looking for a lane, tried to find a hole on the glove side, but misses wide of the net. Just barely. LeBlanc looking again, that time the body in front and heads up and over the glass for a stoppage in play. Stars can get some fresh penalty killers out there as well after the deflection out of the rink. 51 seconds left on this Strathroy power play. Chase Pettit up against Jack. Back at the blue line. It will be sent to shot blocked. Shot blocked. Right in front. Shot blocked. Right in front as Durno was trying to recover to the near post. Searles back to the point. Blocked. In a collective effort by Matsos and Pettipies. Donnerman in behind the net to Craig. Rockets have to check back to the neutral zone. They'll re-enter up the near side. Dylan Searles sends it behind the net. Craig takes a hit up against the boards. Again, goes down fairly easy. No call on the play. Correctly, I would say. Another scramble in front of the goal. Matsos is on top of the puck, getting shot at, and a tie-up will eventually poke out to LeGallic, who springs away. LeGallic in across the blue line after exiting the box. In the offensive zone now. Pass to the point. Wyatt Cameron looking for a man in front. Pettipies tried to tip it on. Ronan might have got a piece of it, but it's up and out of play, and a stoppage after a good chance for St. Thomas to try and tie this thing up. Trying to capitalize off a good penalty kill. The score still 2-1 for the Strathroy Rockets here in Strathroy. Face-off will be inside the Rockets zone. Wyatt Cameron will line up against Ritson. Ritson wins it back to his defenseman. Up the far boards. Stars just barely keep it in as Miles Dunn fires that back in. Rockets will chop it up the far wall again. Savage sends it back to the Rockets blue line, but they collect. LeBlanc firing towards the net, hits a body, goes behind the goal line. Now around the near corner. 3 Stars looking forward up against the wall. Hull trying to one-man bandit and win the puck. Moody now down on the puck up along the wall. It pops free. LeBlanc back to the point. It'll exit the zone as Gavin White has to chase it down. Up the far side. Ritson couldn't get that deep in the St. Thomas zone. Ritson has to hang on to it as LeBlanc is going to check back on side. Ricochet off a body will get it to the near boards, and it's backhanded in by the former Star, Gavin White. Near side, Moody trying to work it up the near boards. Couldn't do so. Now Legalic will flip it high into the neutral zone. It's picked up by Sewell. Miles Dunn steals it off his stick. Pass in front. Return pass to the near post. Miles Dunn couldn't connect with it. I don't think he was ready, as on the far side Cameron had a good look, but elected for the return pass. And it ends up being a nothing chance in the end. Face-off will be inside the Strathroy zone. Referee's trying to decide which side it'll go on the far boards. Far face-off dot. George Matsos against LeBlanc on this face-off. Inside the Strathroy zone. Referee halts things up for a second, puts his finger in the air, and now he'll drop the puck. Hard around the boards to the near side, kept in by Gray. Tried to fire it towards the net, it's off a body. Now on the far side, it'll get past Joey Bezetta off a ring around. And now the Rockets push forward. Ritson, pass off a skate. Gavin White flings it on net. Pad save for Durno. Now winding and firing from the point was Braun, but it's poked away from his stick just in time. Gavin White picks it up behind the net, sends it back out in the blue paint. Durno flings it away with his stick. Now Gavin White wins it back again, forcing another turnover in the offensive zone. He'll drop it off for Ritson on the near boards. Ritson trying to turn away from Gray. He'll press it up against the wall. Gray whacks it ahead, and the Stars coming away with it. Rodney trying to push ahead. George Matsos will come in and pick it up, as Rodney had to stop up. On the near side, Matsos. Well, Rodney will try and help him win the puck along the wall. It comes away to Reed Crossman, trying to fire one on. That's blocked in front of the goal by Broad. Rockets coming the other way. On the behind the net, McGahee Smith getting taken down by Moody, but he keeps the puck in behind the goal line. Now a battle along the boards. Nerton comes away with it. He'll cycle it with Cachago. Cachago trying to walk out in front. Whacked away by the stick of Durno. Now a shot from the far dot. And a nice glove save by Durno to deny Mark Miller of a good chance from the face-off dot. A quick glove from Dylan Durno as he makes the catch and hangs on. Keeping this a 2-1 game in favor of the Rockets. 8:48 left in this second period. Stars win the draw in their own end. Bohoviak's pass up the far side is picked off by Cachago. Cachago in the near side, a delayed call is going to be whistled down now as the Stars touch up the puck. And the St. Thomas Stars will be on the penalty kill. Didn't see much in that play, but the referee's going to send Jimmy Sutherland to the box for a slash, as is signaled by the referee. So the Strathroy Rockets back on the man advantage here, a chance to increase their lead to 2. They'll win the offensive zone draw along the blue line. LeBlanc fires it towards the net, finds a hole, but not through Durno as he makes the glove stop and hangs on for another face-off in his own zone. Draw will be on the far dot now. Monick ties up Ritson. It gets caught up in the linesman's skates. Rockets collect it. Gavin White from the corner. Send it back to the point. Ritson switches to the near side. Nerton back up middle. LeBlanc. Shot. Blocker save from Durno, and the rebound denying Gavin White, who tried twice to get that back out in front of the net. Pass to the center of the blue line again. LeBlanc will walk up the far side. Return pass. Ritson whips it near side. Nerton couldn't receive that cleanly as it hops off his stick. Got a bit too much pepper on it. Gavin White now with it behind the net. Pass to the slot and off the post. A shot from Ritson on the far face-off dot. Going over the blocker, hits the iron. Strathroy still with it. They'll get it back to the blue line to Nerton. They spent almost the full minute here in the offensive zone. Well, actually, they have spent the full minute in the offensive zone. Behind the net, Gavin White. To the far boards, LeBlanc. Back to the point, Ritson fires it, and it's off the shins of Ty Lawson. LeBlanc gets it again. Nerton tries on the near side. That's over the net as well. In the far corner now, the Rockets win it back at the blue line, kept in. Fired in behind the net. Joey Dezzetto will finally get a grip on it for St. Thomas. Fire it down the ice and win his team a line change. Goaltender, a long stretch pass, trying to catch him on it. And now on the near side, a shot. Blocker save from Durno to deny Craig a shot on the near face-off dot. And halt things up as this power play has been creating some good pressure for the Strathroy Rockets. Chase Pettipies will line up for the defensive zone draw. Quickly whistled down by the linesman. I believe they had a clock issue or something. They didn't like what they saw, but Donnerman lines up against Pettipies. One back to the blue line. Rockets have to check back. Reset in the neutral zone. They'll dump it hard around the near corner. Durno sends it right back in their direction. Now fired all the way down the ice. Ronan behind his net will stop up the puck for his teammates to collect as the Stars penalty expires. Back to 5-on-5. 6:30 left in the second. Rockets up 2-1. Moody will press his man up against the glass in the St. Thomas zone on the near corner. Craig behind the net. Pass off the back of the net to himself. And will now send it to the far boards. Pettipies flips it high into the neutral zone. That's found by the Rockets quick and fired back into the far corner. Dylan Searles getting into it with Bohoviak as he got his hand up in the face and then gives him a tap on the back of the head after the fact. Former teammates getting into it there, and Searles might get the gate for that one. Yes, he will. He's got the hands up in the face of Bohoviak. Searles will serve some time now, inflicting a penalty on his former teammate. Face off on the near dot inside the Rocket zone. Stars with a power play here. Try and tie this thing up in the second period with 6 minutes left. They get sent back out into the neutral zone. Legalic comes all the way back in his own zone. Almost bobbles the puck in the near corner as McGahee Smith is watching him real close. Pass to center to Miles Dunn. Pettipies trying to return. Skating around the zone. Just manages to get quickly found. Rebound by Chase Pettipies is buried on the far side, and the Stars tie it up on the power play. Great job by St. Thomas to capitalize on the man advantage and tie this thing up. We're down by 2 early in the first, but they've willed their way back into this thing, which the coaches have touched on lately. It's the will, the desire, and the work ethic. Another former St. Thomas Star almost burying one tonight. There's already been 2. Neither from this season, but the one from this season almost just scored in Dylan Searles. Stars get it into the Strathroy zone. They're trying to battle for it behind the net. Back at the blue line. Victor Moody kicks it back in the zone. Now Miles Dunn back down low. And behind the goal, it's collected. Wyatt Cameron back at the blue line. It's chopped back in front. Cleared aside by the Rockets. Cameron will grab it in the corner. Another pass for Dunn in front. Shot over the net. Dunn chases it down in the near corner. Up along the wall, the Rockets find that loose puck and ring it around the boards to the far side. Now push up the ice. Brimmel chasing it down in the St. Thomas end. Savage takes a whack. Puck heads to the near side. Legalic flips it high into the neutral zone. Well, back in the St. Thomas zone, Rory Savage. Up the wall, Miles Dunn will now flip it high through the center ice again. And again, whacked back into the St. Thomas end. Rory Savage, the puck on his stick. 3:30 left in this second period. The Stars have taken a 3-2 lead after starting this game down 2-0. Chase Pettipies gives it away in his own zone on the far side. Nice battle by Sutherland. Wins it back as Pettipies will fire it all the way down the ice. In the near corner, a race for it. And pressing his man up against the glass. The Rockets will get it to center ice again. Now picked up by Bohoviak. Back in the St. Thomas zone off a Rocket stick. Ty Lawson will try this time to get it ahead to Sutherland. Sutherland up the right side, cutting behind the net. Pass to Pettipies is off target. Sutherland will chase it down. Now a backhand pass to the point. Bohoviak's shot stopped by a body in front. He'll grab the loose puck himself and ring it hard around behind the net. In the corner, Jazuski sends it up the near side to the neutral zone, but back on the stick of Owen Gray. Gray will ring it off the backboards. Team will go for a forward line change. Stretch pass to McGahey-Smith on the near side. He'll fling it in on Durno, who stops it with a blocker to the far boards. Luke Bohoviak from behind his own goal. Nerton bumps into him a little bit. Bohoviak fan on his pass. It turned into a deke up the right wing. Bohoviak now the puck stripped from him. Flipped high into the neutral zone. Rockets. LeBlanc across the blue line. He gets tied up by Bezzetta. Far boards, Rockets win it back. Ritson will get it to the corner to Gavin White. When Gavin White back to the point. Sewell a shot through traffic. Stopped by Durno. Rebound, scores! Zachary LeBlanc pounces on the rebound right in the slot and buries it past Dylan Durno to tie this thing at 3. What a great back and forth hockey game we've got going on here, though. Neither team laying back. Both have answered some deficits. And we got a 3-3 game with 1:49 left in the second. Center ice draw won by St. Thomas. Back to Savage, now to Bezzetta on the far side. Joey Bezzetta, long stretch pass, finds Miles Dunn at the blue line, fires it wide, glove side. Along the far boards, it's picked up by Dotterman. Now sent up the right wing as it's tipped into the zone. Then behind the net, Bezzetta will play to the near corner. Savage cycles it again with Cameron. This pass up the far side, tipped by Bezzetta, and it takes out the linesman who takes a spill as well. Stars with the puck in the neutral zone. That's a rough break for the linesman. Now sent into the Strathroy zone. He got up all right, and he's right back to it. Wyatt Cameron trying to battle for it along the far wall. Dotterman steals the puck. He'll send it ahead to Brimmel in the offensive zone. Drops it off for Donovan. Shot saved by Durno as he catches that one in the Stars logo and hangs on. Miles Dunn taking a shove on Searles, who bumped into Durno after getting shoved. As former St. Thomas Star Dylan Searles not playing any favorites, doing what he normally does and getting under his opposition's skin despite them being teammates, former teammates. Face off on the far dot. Chase Pettipies up against Ritson. Pettipies wins the draw. Victor Moody flips it high off the glass. It's kept in by LeBlanc. Hands it off to Ritson, who cuts to the middle off the noggin of Dylan Durno as he makes a save with the helmet. Sutherland gets taken down on the near side by Ritson. some appeals for a penalty. Now Ty Lawson on the ice with the puck under him and getting poked at by LeBlanc. Now it comes out to the blue line. Gavin White trying to send it in front of the goal. Off a shin, he'll pick it up again. Off to Ritson. Back to the blue line. Hull returns to Ritson. Fires it. Shot stopped by Durno again, who squeezes tight and prevents any rebounds from popping out. .1 left in the second period. Tied 3-3 in a great hockey game between the St. Thomas Stars and the Strathroy Rockets here tonight in Strathroy. Wyatt Cameron in for a defensive zone draw against Ritson. Cameron gets waved out of the dot. In comes Eloan Legalic to take his spot against Ritson. Gets sent to the near boards off a bit of a stalemate, and a centering pass off a body. Gavin White tried to turn and fire it, but it's stripped off him. Legalic the other way with 10 seconds left. Back at the blue line, Wyatt Cameron winds and scores! Oh, Wyatt Cameron with the clock ticking down in the second finds a hole past the glove and makes it 4-3 at the end of the second frame. Just 6.3 seconds left before he buries it. The Stars will most likely be entering the third period up by 1. Great play by the Stars to push it up the ice with some urgency there. Wyatt Cameron got a good grip on that and ripped that thing past the glove. Face-off won by the Stars, and time will tick off. Buzzer will sound, and that is the end of the second period. The St. Thomas Stars score right at the depths of it to take a 4-3 lead after 40 minutes of play. Live from the West Middlesex Memorial Centre in Strathroy, Ontario. I'm going to take a quick break here, get the ice reset, and take a bit of a breather as well. I'll be back for the third period in just a bit, live on the St. Thomas Stars YouTube channel. I'm Phil Pimentel, and stay tuned for the third. Welcome back, live from the West Middlesex Memorial Centre in Strathroy, Ontario, live on the St. Thomas Stars YouTube audio live stream. I'm Phil Pimentel, and after 40 minutes of play, the St. Thomas Stars hold a 1-goal lead, 4-3 over the Strathroy Rockets in a thrilling game here in Strathroy. Rockets on the outside of the playoffs looking in at 9th place as they try to make up some ground and squeeze in to the playoff picture. They'll be trying to battle back hard to take this thing. And we're actually going to get a goaltender change, it looks like, for the Strathroy Rockets, as Costa has entered the net. Mason Costa holding a record of 6-8-2-0, goals against average of 3.95 and a save percentage of .896. So not sure what the call was there, if the coaching staff just wants to try and switch it up here entering the third. We'll see if the shot clock is updated online. There's no shot clock here in the building. But the Rockets with the goaltender change. Dylan Durno is still out there. Some bad news as Charlie Stuckey has left the game and will not be returning tonight. We'll have to wait for an update on his status. The Stars already with a few injuries can ill afford to lose another key player in Charlie Stuckey. So Ronan letting in 4 goals on 15 shots. That's most likely why the coaching staff has elected to change it up with Costa in goal. Try and will the rest of the team to battle back into this thing. So we're underway here in the third. Rockets will send it into the St. Thomas zone and behind the goal. They'll cycle it out in front, back to the point. It'll go to Hull. We'll get it back down low in behind the goal line. Up against the end boards. A wall battle ensues. 2-on-2. We'll get one back to Hull at the blue line. Trying to drag it across, but it passes the blue line. Send it back in as his teammates have to check back. Picked up behind the net by Joey Bezzetta. A Missouri native. The defenseman will ring it hard up the far boards, and it's partially stopped and now glides into the Strathroy zone. Turned over, Ty Lawson looking near post to Chase Pettipice. He couldn't get his stick on it. Now sent ahead by the Rockets, but a little too far. St. Thomas defense will pick it up, and now picked off at center ice by Kachigo. Winds and fires, and he misses the net on the glove side. In behind the net again, turning and firing in front was Kachigo, who walks out on the far post in front of the goal. And that gets denied as it's the Stars from behind their own net leading to head forward. Ty Lawson up the middle. Sutherland will get it in behind the goal line. Pettipice. A loose puck picked up by the Rockets behind their own net. Kachigo's pass up the middle, didn't get all of it. It's sent back into the Rockets zone by the Stars. Near side, Kachigo will push forward and try again. Now Dotterman gets it in behind the goal line. Durno comes out to play it up the far wall. Now picking it up is Ryan Rodney. The London Junior Knight getting a call up tonight, as well as two others. Will Burgess and Braden Piskarowski. On the near wall, Reed Crossman in a battle, and a good one with Mark Miller. Or pardon me, Sewell. Sewell will get it up the far side. Ritson cuts across the blue line. His shot attempt is off of Owen Gray and into the near corner. Trying to get it back to the point was Ritson. It's off the linesman. And now Newstetter will fire it back in deep of the St. Thomas Stars zone. Quicker pace here to the third period. Shot from the near side as the Rockets will tie it up. It's Mark Miller pushing ahead and firing it past Dylan Durno on the near post as the Rockets tie it up 4-4. They're at home the third. So with the goaltender change at the beginning of the third period, Mason Costa now with a chance to pick up a win on his record as we have a tie hockey game. Dylan Searles lines up for the center ice draw against Wyatt Cameron. Cameron wins that matchup against former teammate Searles. Picked up by Savage on the far boards. Again, the Stars are going to be short a defenseman for the rest of this game. Joey Bezzetta up the near side. He'll fire one hard over the net from outside the blue line off the backboards. Rockets push it back ahead. Savage trying to get it back to a forward, but the Rockets pick it off and get it into the St. Thomas zone. Searles pass out in front off a skate, now glides to the far post, or far boards rather. Hull back to the blue line. Dotterman switches back to the near corner. Pass out and behind the net, hits the net, and now is sent to the blue line. Strathroy in the offensive zone trying to get a little breathing room as they're just flinging it to open ice right now. Now Hull, a shot from distance, pad save for Durno. Trying to lull him to sleep perhaps. Now we got a battle behind the play as the Stars pushed forward, and it's going to be whistled down now. Joe Detto was a little bit tied up with Dylan Searles. Dylan Searles again trying to ruffle some former teammates' feathers. This time we're going to get some offsetting minors, as both of them will head to the box. Dylan Searles and Rory Savage, that is. So we'll play a little bit of 4-on-4 once they get the paperwork all sorted out and filed. See who the Stars send out for this shift with a little extra open ice. Right now it's Pettipice, Matsos, Victor Moody, and Owen Gray. And the faceoff will be inside the Strathroy zone as well. They'll be up against Ritson, LeBlanc, and Newstetter and Hull on the back end. A halt before the faceoff as the referee is getting flagged down by the Strathroy coach for an explanation perhaps. He's trying to plead his case. Using all kinds of hand gestures as well. Very passionate. Doesn't go his way, the argument. So 4-on-4 we are. Strathroy wins the draw in their own zone. Newstitter will drop it back for Ritson. Behind the net, William Hull. Up the far side, Hull trying to get it around Moody, and he takes a big hit as he goes down. But the referees are going to call that a penalty. And Moody will head to the box. Captain Owen Gray does not like that call as he tries to talk to the official. But an interference call is made against Moody, which will send us to 4-on-3 action for a minute 40 or less, as there's a minute 40 left on the 4-on-4. Well, I guess it'll be the 2 minutes, and then once they come out, it'll be a 5-on-4. Pardon me. It'll be a power play nonetheless for 2 minutes for the Rockets. And up the near side, Quinn Gavin White back to the point. LeBlanc over to Ritson. Ritson back for LeBlanc. LeBlanc tied up on his skates. He'll play it off to his blade and hand it off to Nerton. Back for LeBlanc up the middle. Finds Nerton. A shot. Misses the net. Off the backboards. Collected by LeBlanc. Shot in front. Stopped by Durno and quickly cleared down the ice as Costa's going to come out to play it in the far corner. Some heavy hitters on this power play. LeBlanc winning player of the month for November. Ritson with the rookie of the month. Ritson currently has 51 points in 35 games. I had to double check that, but 18 goals and 33 assists. I believe he holds the lead in all rookie scoring. Ian Nerton up to LeBlanc as the Rockets will enter the zone. Gavin White, 40 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Now they'll shoot and score. In front, handed off, and the Rockets find a hole, and it's Ritson who's going to get credit for the goal. Looked like it might have taken a deflection on the way in. The Rockets will take a lead back for the first time in a while in this game to make it 5-4. So the power play is done now. We'll be back to 4-on-4 hockey. The Rockets scoring on a 4-on-3 power play. Stars back down by 1 after the Rockets with a good answer here in the third period. The board still has to be corrected here. I still see Victor Moody's penalty up there. Now the referees see it. So we'll get Moody's penalty off the board. 36 seconds left on the offsetting minors, which means 36 seconds of 4-on-4. Far side, Victor Moody back out there after the Rockets power play goal. I left the intermission thing up again. Phil, stop it. Stop it. There we go. Did that in the Chatham game. Beat myself up about it. Now I'm going to beat myself up about the first 5.5 minutes here. A play in the St. Thomas zone. A couple players go down, and the puck will glide in on the stick of Vahoviak. That's center ice. Broad will fire it in on Durno. Stops it, keeps the play going. A turnover in front of the goal. And a chance there goes by the wayside as they couldn't get a good shot off. Now a big hit by Sutherland at center ice on Hull. And the puck gets sent into the St. Thomas zone. Up the near side, Miles Dunn. Dunn trying to get around Sewell. It's now to the near side, Sewell. Brimmel will be the one to get it out and down the ice into the St. Thomas end. Up the far boards, Sutherland will tip it into the zone. Back to collect it is Hull. Off the inboards to Sewell, and now at the right wing. Switched back to the near side to Hull, who pushes ahead into the zone. They'll bring it in behind the net. Now picked up by Max Monick. Monick Looking for a springing Rodney. It doesn't connect on the other end of it. And it'll be an icing call. That sends us back in front of Dylan Durnall. 13:24 left in the third period here. The Strathroy Rockets have taken the lead 5-4 after 2 unanswered goals here in the third period. Face off into St. Thomas end. Quick shot off the draw from LeBlanc. Misses the net. Rebound off the boards. Will come all the way back into the Rockets end. Broad, near side, gets a pass off while taking a spill to the far side. Now Ritson across the blue line makes a move around Bezetta. Collects it up the near wall. Skates back to the blue line. Now gets it back down low to Gavin White. Gavin White to Broad at the blue line. Shot takes a deflection and up and out of play it'll go. All the referees signaling a deflection. And we'll get a draw inside the Stars end. So a good call so far from the coaching staff to send Costa out there and inject some life into the team, give them a bit of inspiration. Get back in this thing. Now they've taken the lead. On the near side, back to the point, a shot from distance through traffic, pad save for Durnall, and another one as it floated around in front of him. Now Pettipiece coming the other way. Jimmy Sutherland. It's pressed up against the wall by Miller. In comes Ty Lawson to help out. Lawson gets it out in front, but Hull finds it and backhands it down the ice. Icing will be called after Hull sends it all the way. Hull having some words with Jimmy Sutherland. Took a shot at him. They're both going to chat as Sutherland now goes to the bench for a line change. Hull pointing to get him out of there. St. Thomas with an offensive zone draw. Wyatt Cameron gets it back to the point. Bohoviak looking for a lane. Finds one to the far post. Scores! Miles Dunn on the back door with a beauty pass from Luke Bohoviak. And the Stars tie it at 5. Miles Dunn with his second of the game. Scored a hat trick last night. Could it be in the books tonight again? My goodness, what a thrilling 3 games this has been for the St. Thomas Stars. As they have really answered the call from the coaches after a bad stretch in December and the beginning of January. Challenged by the coaches, and it seems to have worked for the time being. Great hockey game here in Strathroy. Far side, Reed Crossman's going to take his man into the corner. Now a centering pass in front off of the pad of Dylan Durnall. On the near side, shot from the point is blocked from Newstitter. Now it's sent back in by Brimmel. Into the far corner again. Behind the net. Rockets, good forecheck, will win the puck. Dotterman trying to battle again. He's getting pressed up again to the wall. Now the puck springs free to the far corner. Brimmel comes in to collect it. He'll get pressed up against the glass. Now the Stars get a handle on it and get it out to center ice at least. Fired back in, and Bohoviak will collect it as the Rockets go for a line change. Bohoviak heads out behind his net. He'll look for his wings to fly. He's actually going to leave the puck for a teammate to pick up. Can't quite catch the numbers on that far side. Again, I'm behind the net of the Strathroy net. Costa brings it around to Ty Lawson on the near side. LeBlanc finds the loose puck, gets it up to Ritson. Ritson up the near side, takes a shot, partially blocked, and Durnall will do the rest of the work to catch it with a mitt and hang on for a stoppage in play in his own zone. Got a little discussion happening on the draw. Hull is saying that there's some chatter from the St. Thomas bench and appealing to the referees about that. Quite sure what's going on. Oh, somebody needs a stick. That's the problem. Joey Bezzetta getting a stick from the bench, trying to communicate through the glass. They'll face off on the near side in the St. Thomas zone. Be cleared down the ice by the Stars. Trying to chase it down was done. He's not going to win that race. And we'll head back in the Stars' end for the draw. So another face-off on the near side. Ritson will step in for the Rockets up against Wyatt Cameron. False start. Referee will give some instructions and they'll try again. 10:43 left in the third period. 5-5 is the score. After a good back and forth throughout this whole game. One around the far board, stolen by Legalic. Centering pass hops over the stick of Miles Dunn. And now the Rockets come ahead. Ritson, it's stopped up by the Stars defense. Yellow on Legalic. Off the far boards, ahead to Wyatt Cameron. Cameron looking for Dunn again at the blue line, gets ahead of him and into the path of Costa, who slaps the mitt down and gets a face-off in his zone. St. Thomas will send out a full line change. Jimmy Sutherland's line will come out. It's Max Monick and Matsos has a bit of a line switch up. Monick was playing with the two APs, or two of the APs earlier. At the far side. Flip to center ice. Luke Mahoviak will pick it up. Tried to switch it to the far boards, but it's picked off by Nerton into the offensive zone. Couldn't get a shot off as he's stopped up by Victor Moody. Behind the St. Thomas goal, Mahoviak will grab it again. He's taken down in the far corner and slow to get up as the Stars collect the puck again. Long stretch pass for Jimmy Sutherland, gets far ahead of him. Has to chase it into the far corner. George Matsos and Jimmy Sutherland trying to work that corner boards, but the Rockets outnumber them. Jazuski pokes it ahead to Kachigo. Back for Jazuski and across the blue line. Near side, McGahee Smith runs into trouble, tries to dump it in. It's not stopped. They're now sent into the Rocket zone. Costa comes out to play it. Near side, goes past Miller and a tip pass ahead. The Rockets push with Dylan Searles picking it up. On the near side, now it's Gavin White. His pass attempt is off a stick. Picked up by Pettipies. Chase Pettipies zooming away up the left wing. Into the corner, he'll get it back to the point. Sent back in as the point man was closed down on quickly. Now in behind the goal, turned over in front, Ty Lawson. Pettipies takes a whack at it, stopped by Costa. And a scrum will ensue as Broad takes a hold of Pettipies, who was jamming away at his goaltender. Couldn't get the puck past though. 5-5, now under 9 minutes left in the third period. Chase Pettipies picking up a couple apples against Chatham in his last game as well. But now on the ice is the Cameron, Miles Dunn, and Legalic line. Cameron tied up on the draw. Dunn will pick it up in the corner. Send it around the boards to the near side. Donovan can't get a grip on it. He's being troubled by Legalic. Now teammate Searles will help out. Sends it up the far side. Brimmel around the boards. Wyatt Cameron will grab it, and a nice backhand pass will send Owen Gray. A centering pass in front. Dunn can't get it as it's just behind him. Got a little piece of it, but couldn't get a grip to get the shot off. Now up the far boards. William Hull up to Brimmel. He'll send it back to Hull, who slap pass through the center ice. Miles Dunn just got a piece of his defender, and the icing call will be made as it got past the Rocket trying to receive it. Face off on the near side. Out goes Monik Lawson and Chase Pettipies. I haven't seen the affiliate call-ups in this last few minutes as much. Tight hockey game. Chase Pettipies on the near side. Broad will pick it up in the Strathroy zone. Over to William Holt. Switch pass to LeBlanc. Sidesteps one defender and trying to get the shot off, but it's blocked. Gets dragged down, and a penalty will be called on the play. As LeBlanc doing a good job of drawing it. And will win his team another power play here. With a chance to take a lead in a 5-5 hockey game. With 7:47 left in the third. This is a big penalty kill that is needed for St. Thomas. And the high-scoring line is out there for the Rockets. Ryan Rodney just stepped in the box as well. Don't see another penalty on the board, so it might be a misconduct. The shot from the point blocked by Moody and sent down the ice. Blocking a Ritson shot from the blue line. Now LeBlanc up the right wing. He'll receive a pass back. No, he won't. It's over his stick. They will keep possession in the offensive zone, though. Back to the point it will go. Ritson off to Cachigo. Back for Ritson. Ritson near side behind the net. Gavin White. Quinn Gavin White skates back to the point. Now up to the near boards. Gavin White receives it back. Pass to the far side. Whipped out in front. Tipped on. Big save by Durno. And cleared over the glass. The short glass. Referee's signal it was tipped. The penalty will be avoided. I'm not sure that should be a penalty in this building. It's cleared over the glass. Back to the point it'll go to LeBlanc. Ritson. Back for LeBlanc along the blue line. Return back for Ritson on the near side. LeBlanc back in the slot. Tried to turn and fire. It didn't get all of it. Ritson with it. Whips it out in front. Glides in and scores. A ricochet off a skate. Just slowly bounces past Durno on his far side. Shooter didn't get all of it, but Cachigo will get the goal. And the Strathroy Rockets take a 6-5 lead on the power play with 6:45 left in the third. What a spirited hockey game we've got here. Penalty for Pettipies is still on the board, but it's 5-on-5. Pettipies is still in the box. Not sure what that's about. Maybe just an oversight. Stars will get it into the Rockets' end. Deep behind the goal line. Lawson on the near side. Reed Crossman from behind the goal line trying to center it. That's off a skate to the far boards. Sutherland throws a hit. That'll loosen the puck up for Ty Lawson to pick up. He gets bumped into himself by Hull. Puck in the far corner. Rockets can't get it out. The Stars steal it back. Crossman back for Owen Gray. Shot towards the goal. Off a body and wide. Another centering pass jammed on, and a toe save from Costa to deny Reed Crossman of his second of the night. Flipped into the near corner of the St. Thomas zone by Brimmel. Donovan trying to chase it down, but the Stars will grab a hold and send it forward. Not to anyone in particular, though, and now picked up by Miller. Stars go for a line change as Miller's pass is off target. Winning an icing call for the Stars and an offensive zone draw. Face-off will be on the near side. Wyatt Cameron will line up for the St. Thomas offensive zone draw up against Ritson. Score is 6-5 Strathroy. 5:41 left on the clock in the third. Ritson grabs the puck off the near boards. Tries a flip pass ahead. Victor Moody will grab it. Moody Carries it to the near side. Turned over. LeBlanc centering pass in front. Gavin White misses just wide on the glove side of Durnall. And now the Stars on a counterattack. Cameron trying to get around a delayed penalty coming now to the Strathroy Rockets. Cameron bumps into Miller up along the end boards as the play was blown dead. And a head contact will be called against Sewell. Chase Sewell coming into this game, 81 penalty minutes. Again, that's a stat I had to double check. We'll add another 2 to that total. The Stars, a great chance here on the man advantage to tie this at 6. And another Rocket is heading to the penalty box to serve another misconduct. As it is Nolan Miller who will head to the box. In the near corner, Dylan Durnall will stop it behind the net as the Stars draw up an exit path. On the near side, Savage takes a spill, chases it down behind the goal line. Broad goes down as Savage on top of the puck now. Matsos is going to try and come in and even up the numbers. It gets back to Legalic at the point. Miles Dunn winds and fires and stopped by Costa, who squeezes tight and hangs on without any rebounds popping out. Face off on the near side. 1:27 left now on the Stars power play. I'll imagine they need to score on this man advantage. Otherwise, time is not on their side. Clear attempt by the Rockets. Referees signal a tip again, and the line change can be made. They will not take the line change. Just retake the face-off in the Rockets zone. Monix, Sutherland, and Miles Dunn out there with Legalic and Savage at the point on the power play here. Face-off won by the Rockets. McGahee-Smith flips it softly into the far corner. Off the backboard, Savage will grab it. Rory Savage. Pass to a trailing Miles Dunn, now to Legalic. Legalic up along the far boards, takes a bump, but the puck left behind for Sutherland. Back for Savage. Now Sutherland. A little back and forth. Savage will grab it. In the corner it goes for Legalic. Yellow on Legalic off the wall. Savage near side. Miles Dunn. Shot saved. Rebound. Shot is blocked by Hull. Legalic trying to capitalize on a rebound off a change of direction. Now we'll send it across to Savage on the far boards. That's deflected by a defensive stick. In the far corner now. 3 Stars trying to battle against 3 Rockets for the puck up against the corner wall. All kinds of sticks and skates. Gavin White will come away with it and find some room and clear it up the near side. 20 seconds left now on the Stars power play. 3:35 left in the third period. Down by 1 is St. Thomas. And up the near side, Ty Lawson leaves it for Crossman, but a couple Rockets come in and double team to clear it down the ice. Penalty kill just about done here for Strathroy. Near side, Crossman whips it back across for Lawson. That's off target. Rockets will collect it as their man comes out of the box. Up the far boards, Crossman sends it back in behind the goal line. Takes a hit to do so. Far side gets past Joey Bezzetta. Wyatt Cameron will go back and collect. And his pass across to the far side deflected by Ritson as he takes a hit behind the play while sending that pass across. But it's deflected up and over the glass. Just under 3 minutes now left in the third. Rockets holding on to a 1-goal lead on a 6-5 score. St. Thomas needs one to try and get back in this. Give themselves a chance to try and make it 3 wins in a row in 3 thrilling games. Jimmy Sutherland across the blue line. Far side shot stopped by Costa with a beautiful glove save. Sutherland got all of that grip. Lets it go nicely, but Goaltender coming up big. Costa coming in the third. It has made a difference, if anything, for the mentality of the Rockets, who have battled back, taken the lead a couple times in this period. Entered it down 4-3. Miller off the far glass. All the way down the ice. Bezzetta will pick it up. No icing, as that was waved off. Joey Bezzetta halted up behind his goaltender. Stars need a goal here. Up the far side, gets past Jimmy Sutherland. A stretch pass. Neustetter will pick it up for the Rockets. His pass deflected by Monick. Play continues as it heads all the way down into the St. Thomas zone. Owen Gray looking for some white jerseys. Sends it to the near side. Flipped ahead and then back towards the St. Thomas zone by Strathroy. Now ends up on the stick of Mark Miller. Miller behind his goal. He's in no hurry as he wants this clock to tick down. Now he'll head up the left wing to Ritson. Ritson fires it in on Durno with a soft shot, and he'll stop it up. Get a face-off in his own zone. Strathroy Rockets trying to chase down a playoff spot. Cling on for the next minute 44 to get an important 2 points. So you want to squeeze out of that 9th spot into the playoff picture. This win would be a very big one for them. Far side, Legalick ahead to Miles Dunn. Dunn pokes it to Legalick in front, just can't get at the stick on his backhand. Back to the point, Victor Moody fires it, and that's stopped by the stick of Donnerman. It was tied up in his pants and then drops down on his stick again. And behind the goal, Dylan Durno plays it off to his teammates. A minute 15 left. We'll have to watch for Durno to see if he leaves for the extra attacker. It's dumped in. Costa steers it to the corner. Now Durno will exit. 6 attackers out on the ice for St. Thomas as it's cleared down towards their end. Will be picked up by Lawson. 6-on-5 with an empty net. Neustetter up the wall. Will get it to a scrum on the near side. Now fired towards the St. Thomas net. Misses just wide. Off the backboards, the Stars collect. Far wall, Lawson will fire it hard. Around the boards near side, picked up Miles Dunn. Dunn gets hit into the boards. Broad will send it back out of the zone and down the ice. Wahoviak has to chase it down. 33 seconds left now as Wahoviak heads out from behind his own net. Stretch pass up the far side, off a skate, bounces to center ice. A shot stopped by Wahoviak. That was going in. From center ice, Wahoviak. Another pass picked off, this time by Ritson. Pass out to Gavin White, scores! Quinn Gavin White puts a stamp on it. And Grammy would be proud of that one, his second of the night, as he takes it, makes it a 2-goal lead, and the Rockets will get the victory here at home. Big win for Strathroy and a big loss for St. Thomas, but an exciting game overall and a tight race between a handful of teams in the middle of the West. The Rockets have really made a push here in the latter end of the season, and they'll get a big 2 points here at home. As the clock winds down, the buzzer will sound. And the Strathroy Rockets win this one. Final score 7-5 as Mason Costa comes in the third period and picks up the win for his team in a recovery game on his part. So the St. Thomas Stars will be back at it on Friday night against the Sarnia Legionnaires, who have yet to get a win this season. As that will be a Fill the Rink night, so be sure to visit My FM in St. Thomas, Grand Central in the basement. You can Go to their office and they'll give you some tickets. You can come out to the game. It's green and gold night as well, so make sure you wear your green and gold or your Stars jerseys. Deck yourselves out and come support the St. Thomas Stars at home at the Joe on Friday. Live on the St. Thomas Stars YouTube channel for this audio live stream. I'm Phil Pimentel. Thank you for joining us tonight. Like and subscribe and share, all that good stuff. Help us grow this thing for the boys, and you have yourselves a great night.